Hello, and I hope you're doing well. On this video we're going to change this sink. This is the second kitchen in my house. Lately I've been painting, so therefore there's some paint. But it's older, so I need to change it. As for the faucet, I'm going to keep it because I got it not long ago. So let's start. The first thing that you want to make sure is that you get the right sink. And the right way to do it is by measuring the old one, which on this case is 33 inches from side to side. So we start from one end, and then as you can see, it's 33. From front to back, this one is 22. And you could choose one sink. In this case, there are two, and it's divided in half. Some of them are divided smaller, some of them are just one sink altogether. And then you can also decide if you want one hole only, or you want three, or in this case, four. And if you don't use them, even if you get the four, then you get the caps. And if you only need one, just use that one, and then the rest of them you don't need. In this case, we can put the soap here, and sometimes the faucet comes with the other two holes on the sides. So it's really up to you what you want to get. The one other option that you get is how deep you want the sink to be. These are 8 inches deep, but you could also get 9, 10, so deeper than this. But in the time being, just using the measurements will give you an idea of what you need. So let's start. The first thing that we have to do is look underneath and shut off the water. And that's one valve, and the other one's right there. So let's close them both. So now let's take off the hoses that go to the faucet by unscrewing these two. On this side I already took it off. So using these type of pliers or a wrench, unscrew these. And I put something underneath just in case water comes out. Once you have it loose, then you can take the rest off with your hand. Not a lot of water came out on the other side, so now both of the sides are free. Now you can take this apart. So you can unscrew this, unscrew that, and then unscrew these two, and the whole thing comes out. You could also just unscrew the back part and then just take the whole thing off and replace everything. It's not expensive to replace these PVC piping. It's really up to you. I am going to replace these pieces up here because they're really old as well. So once I take these off, we'll see if they're dirty inside or not, but they last a long time. You start unscrewing this part, this U part, water is gonna come out. Therefore I have a bucket. And once you take this off, and if you want to take this U part only off, you can do that. But I already unscrewed this too. And this is the last one. And it comes out. Holding this sink down are these 2 or 3 brackets, and the brackets are held with screws, and they are there with pressure. Let's take those off. So you can get a better idea. Here's a sink and it's upside down, and these are the ones that you have to unscrew off. This is the tip that you have to unscrew or make it loose so you can turn it. Because once you put the other one in, the new one, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna slide these into place. These go in here, and you're gonna put them sideways. And once the sink is there, then you're gonna turn them so they can grab. This is gonna grab onto here, the bottom, and once you screw them on there tightly, it makes it stay into place. And as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side and 4 on the other. Now I've unscrewed all screws on the right, all on the left. There's no screws on the front or back, so there's nothing holding it now. I've gotten rid of the hose, the water. I've gotten rid of the drain, so I think it's loose. So all that's holding it together is silicone between here and the countertop. So now, just using a little bit of force, you could just pull it out slowly. To make it easier, you can grab a knife, utility knife, and cut the silicone off by putting it in there. And this is what I got. So this is what's holding it, all this silicone or sealer. So just pulling it slowly, it'll come off. If not, then just cut the pieces off. So that's the older sink, and the sink, the model is there. The brand is the same, okay. And here is probably the date that it was made, somewhere here, I don't know. So it's been here for a while. Now that we have the sink up here, now we could take the faucet off. This screw, we have to unscrew it so this can turn and it lets go of the faucet. Using both hands, I'm gonna grab with the right hand this bottom part, the faucet, and then with the other hand I'm gonna turn this. Once you've taken out the sink, clean this around, maybe with a cloth, something just to make sure that it's clean. We got our new sink, so I put it into place to see how it fits, and it fits well. So just making sure that all the sides are nice and flush, and it does. So let's continue. I got new sink strainers. So what we're gonna do is install them, and for that we need the plumber's putty, and this is like Play-Doh. All you have to do is grab a large amount, and what you can do is roll it into something like that, like a little roll. All you have to do is roll it, and all you need is about 12 inches of this. And whatever you don't need, you can put back. So it sort of looks like this. And all you gotta do is put it around here. And what this is going to do is create a seal on top. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to go around like that. This is kind of thin, so let's make it a little thicker there. And feel free to do it again. It's greasy, so try not to get it all over the stainless steel so you don't have to clean afterwards. So here it is. So let's put it around. And this is gonna go underneath here. The sink is upside down. What you can do is flip this around. So now that I've flipped the sink and you have the seal around there, and feel free to push it in just a little bit just so you can stay put. Now you put it on the hole. Make sure it's even. So push it firmly. So now that it's there, let's flip the sink around. You can take some of this off. Feel free to put this back. Now you're gonna put the rubber piece first, then this paper, and then lastly this ring. When you turn it, it's gonna put both pieces together to make it tighter. And as you can see, now that I've tightened the bottom, it has created a circle of surplus putty. So we can take this off now. And feel free to put this back too. You can throw it away too, it's up to you. Now we can put the faucet, and it's easier to put the faucet while you haven't put the sink up there. So let's do that. We'll put the faucet through the top. You can put some of the plumber's putty here, or you could put silicone, and this had a gasket but it's all worn out, so I'm gonna put some of that plumber's putty just to make some seal on the top so water doesn't go down there. I have tightened the bottom. I did clean the plumber's putty around it, so now it's there installed. So let's continue. All you have to do is put your dispenser like this here, and then from the bottom you're gonna put the gasket, and then this screw on there. Feel free to put some plumber's putty here all around so you can create a seal once you put it in there. And once you screw this from the bottom, all you have to do is put this bottle, fill it up with soap, and you're gonna screw it from the bottom and screw it like so. There are also other soap dispensers that have a longer hose where you can actually sit the soap on the bottom of the cabinet, and you don't have to use this anymore. That's another option. Now we're gonna put the soap dispenser here, and there's gonna be 2 holes left behind, so therefore there's some faucet hole covers, and they look like this. And these covers, all you have to do is put them here and then push it down. I've taken the sink out of the way. What we're gonna do is put a silicone around here to create a seal so water doesn't go down there. And all you gotta do is cut this in an angle and put a small amount of silicone here, and as you can see, it was sitting here, so it can't be up here. It's just between here and here where you're gonna put some of the silicone. And if you put too much, it'll come over, and it's easy just to clean off right away. You don't have to put it now, you could put it afterwards. It's just another option. As you can see, there's the silicone all around. It's clear, so you can barely see it, but it's a good layer around it. So when I sit the sink is gonna make a good seal. On the bottom, I put all these on one side, and then some on the other side, and then some in the front and the back, and it holds it into place. Some of the silicone came out of this side once I put the sink on there, so all you have to do is run your finger through it and clear it out, maybe a piece of cloth, and just clean that out. Now, another thing you can do is, here, once you have it sitting, you can also put a clear coat of silicone around it, and then have your finger and run your finger through here so you can compact the silicone in there, and then you just clear that out. That's another option. Okay, so now we're ready to put the hoses together. This is the one that you pull off, then it comes right back. And the reason why it comes back is because it has this weight on it. So let's slide that in there. And then this goes back there connected to the other hose, and this is what keeps them connected. So we're gonna slide it in here, and the other one the same. Now we're gonna just connect the hot water and the cold water, and you have colors to go by. This one's red, the other one's blue. And the reason for this T is that this water goes to the refrigerator. I put this back together, but except this is going to fit differently because these are brand new, so I'm gonna have to cut them. And we're gonna cut them around here. And this is how we're gonna put this back. It goes like this. This is what's gonna go into the strainer. And I'm doing it with one hand, so bear with me. Then we're gonna put the other side, what screws onto the piping, then the seal. And once you get all this done, you're gonna flip it around, and lastly you're gonna put that other cap that comes with the strainer, and it goes in there. And now you're ready to put it where it needs to go. Start with the bottom part, push it in there. Once it's in there, then you can screw the top portion and then the bottom. Make sure that everything is nice and tight. You can tighten it with your hands. There's no pressure here, so it's just the water that gets drained out. Next, you can turn on the water, both hot and cold. Check for leaks. If everything's fine, then you can go ahead and turn on the faucet and see if there's any other leaks. If there are no leaks, then you should be okay and ready to go. I hope you liked this video, and I hope it helps you in some way. Thank you for watching, and enjoy.